Recently, I watched a great video by Gruggs of Legion Tactical Cutlery on a D2 steel everyday carry knife from FLISSA. I had to get this knife after watching his video and do a review myself. Stick around. It's a beautiful day here in Virginia today. It's still a little cool out, but the sun is shining and we're feeling good. Nice little lovely view here from the carport. There's my camp over there. If you look close, that's where all the knife throwing and everything goes down. It's just a perfect little piece of land for what I do back there. Y'all know my channel consists of reviews on gear across the entire outdoor spectrum, but as of late, I have been red hot busy on the knife reviews. And you probably know by now, out of all the gear that I review, that knives are probably my favorite. And I have a passion for good budget knives just because, you know, so many people are on a budget and you can find some really good stuff at an inexpensive price. If I was reviewing really expensive blades all the time, you know, it's really no question as to whether or not these knives are good, because if I'm paying, you know, $200, $300, $400 for a knife, it better doggone be good. But the questions I like to answer is this too good to be true? You know, for the people out there shopping on Amazon and seeing these cool looking blades, you know, $25, $30 and wondering, you know, is this, what's the catch? You know, I like to be able to answer those questions and give you a little bit more peace of mind about some of the blades I know you've probably already been looking at. And if you've been on Amazon shopping fixed blade knives, pretty sure you've stumbled upon this one and thought a little bit about it. Get a good look at that baby right there. Tell me that's not a good looking fixed blade D2 budget knife. I've got to say, that's my kind of color scheme right there. You've got these black, simple G10 scales, that dark stonewash blade. That is one awesome color scheme. The overall length is 8.5. The blade is 3 5/8 inches. We've got a 4mm thick blade, 6.84 ounces in weight. That's a good weight. And D2 steel. I can easily say this goes way beyond the limits of light duty. Now, I'll tell you right off the bat my intentions with a knife like this. This is most definitely what I would consider to be a good heavy duty everyday carry. If I was going to bushcraft, I'd probably get something a little bit bigger. I'd probably go with something strong arm size or higher. And I do want to show you the size of this in comparison to my brand new beautiful black Gerber strong arm here. See, if I'm going bushcraft, this is me at minimum. Okay, this is everyday carry. This would not be my go-to for bushcraft. It's totally capable of anything you'd want to do out here. Now, I will do probably a good bit of carving from time to time with this because I just do a lot of carving anyway. See how well that's cutting in. Throw some good sparks there with the jimping here on the back. Out of the box, it passed the paper sharp test, but it didn't quite pass the shaving test. The good thing is this knife is going to be very easy to sharpen. Now let's sit down here and talk about this sheath. I have a love-hate for it. I'm going to tell you everything I love about it, and I'm going to tell you what I don't like about it. So let's start with the bad. There it is. That's the only thing I don't like about it. That's the only thing. I love everything else. I've seen some comments on other reviews with this where, you know, guys have been talking about heat treating this a little bit. I got to be honest, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to probably have to do a little research to learn how to heat treat a sheath. This does not lock in at all. I mean, it'd be very easy to pull out. Somebody could walk right up on you and pull it out pretty easily, or somehow or another, if you got turned upside down or sideways, it would fall out. Now, I do want to show you one other thing you can do if you don't want to have to worry with trying to heat treat it to shrink it down some. I have got some hockey tape right here lined on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. I just took some hockey tape and I put it right here. And I've got it lined in on the other side to kind of fill in that space. And I want to show you this. I can shake this and it's not coming out now. It's in there much more secure. On top of that, listen to it click. It's not coming out. All because I just took a little hockey tape and lined the inside of the top of the sheath. And it's the same color practically. It's not an eyesore. Much like some of the Cold Steel Secure X sheaths, you've got this little groove right here where you can install a pocket clip. Now, if I put this in my pocket like this right here, I'm having to pull it from this side. But if I want to pull it from this direction, all I need to do is put a ulti clip right here, and I can slide this right in my pocket. And this will carry very comfortably in the pocket. That's how I will be carrying this. Also carries very comfortably from a sitting position, like if you're in your car. I don't really understand this little cut and groove here. It's almost like it's like a little seat belt cutter or something. I don't really think that's necessary. I'm sure it's got some necessity to it, but I could do without that little groove, but I'm not too worried about that. You know, for those who like to do chopping with their knife, I don't really consider this a good chopping blade. It's kind of small. One thing Gruggs pointed out in his review was, you know, you can use a lanyard down here to kind of be able to get a grip on the end of this to kind of hold it tight. And it can chop, and if you like to chop with your blade, this has the ability to do that. It's just not a very dominant chopper. Now let me get to the fun part and tell you what I love most about this knife. Yes, it has some good bushcraft capabilities if that's what you want to use it for. It's got great utility capabilities, but if you want to carry a little bit of a heavier fixed blade that's not too big every day and have something on you that would be really good for self-defense if you were ever in that situation, I think it's a great self-defense knife. You're holding this in your hand, it feels like a solid piece of gear. It feels very secure, just feels very, very, very secure. Very comfortable for me. If you have an XL glove, your hand might engulf this handle a lot more than my, large size here. But this jimping is here. It's got good protection for your hand, and you really feel like you're holding something. You can switch positions really well. This is a good size blade that you can actually carry comfortably. I've been walking around with it in my pocket just to get a feel for it. You can do stuff with paracord, zip ties if you wanted to carry it scout or on your sides. Just a lot of options the way this sheath is made. Again, you just want to tighten it. At this time, I'm going to do some strikes and slices from various angles just so you can see how solid this thing handles. This thing hits hard. Heck, let's give it a throw. All right, that's enough of all that. You can throw this knife. It's not a throwing knife though, and don't get this to throw it. This is a everyday carry knife that stays in your hand. If you need a compact, solid bushcraft knife, this will do the job for you and do it well. If you need a good, solid, everyday carry for utility use, this will take good care of you. If you need to defend your life, I would most definitely feel confident with this blade in my hand. You may or may not feel like dealing with the hassle of the loose sheath and having to figure out how to heat treat it and tighten it up a little bit, but that's the only issue I have with this knife. I give everything else a perfect 10, and you know what? I'm going out to get me another one. I hope you enjoyed this review. Take care.